Due to the ignorance of our host, parental discretion is advised.
This episode is brought to you by Is Cbd. You may find yourself asking, what is CBD? Well, CBD is an all-natural ingredient taken from the hemp plant. Contrary to some belief, CBD does not cause any euphoria or intoxication. In fact, CBD is believed to have many health benefits, from physical pain, inflammation, anxiety, and sleep. The list goes on and on.
But with so many CBD companies out there, it's hard to trust the good from the bad. But fear not, your friends at the other side of the Beehive are proud to partner with Happiest CBD. Happiest CBD is your #1 place to go from premium CBD that won't break the bank. Their broad spectrum CBD oil is made simple, sourced from local organic farms, and rigorously tested to provide you the highest quality products on the market. Happiest CBD contains no THC, which means their products are completely workplace safe.
Happiest CBD have something for everyone, including broad spectrum CBD drops, roll-on CBD freeze, and CBD sleep aid. Head on over to happiestmed.com. That's HEPIUSMED.com to pick up your premium CBD products today. For all the other side of the Beehive listeners, get 10% off when you use promo code Beehive at checkout.
Happiestmed.com, promo code Beehive, and tell them that the boys from the other side of the Beehive sent you.
Peace!
This episode is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Trucking. An up-and-coming trucking company is ready with a flatbed trailer to haul your cargo anywhere in the country. That's right. With a license to travel anywhere in the lower 48, we can assure you there is no load too high or too low. Rocky Mountain Trucking will haul it all. Worry about your load being damaged? Rocky Mountain Trucking will cover it with its own insurance, so you can lean back and relax while your expected cargo is being shipped to you. Do you want Rocky Mountain Trucking to take care of your load so you don't have to? Just call 801-845-6871. That's 801-845-6871 and ask for Logan. Working 7 days a week, making sure your shipment gets to its destination safely. Rocky Mountain Trucking, 801-845-6871. Once again, that's 801-845-6871, and tell Logan you heard about him on the other side of the Beehive. We'll have you get a picture with our boner later. So, that's the mascot.
He likes them.
So anyway, hey, returning guest.
What is this? This is 3, right?
This is 4.
Might be 4. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
4.
I think I'm in for 4.
That's reigning champion. That's belt status right there.
I can win at something.
Although we will say, the last time you were here, you left a chunk of meat in our couch.
In the headphones. Remember
the headphones.
Yeah.
We have to burn them.
You could have cloned me.
How did you not wear those headphones? Just nostalgia, right?
How did you not clone him? You could have cloned me.
You don't even know what we've done with those headphones.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah. Let's just say I may or may have not
sciences.
gotten you pregnant.
I appreciate it.
Just like that.
So, Eric Iman, welcome back.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you making a special trip.
We haven't seen you in
a year.
Since the wedding. Since the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and we haven't done a podcast since I fell off the motor. Well, so I guess I haven't been here.
You got married the same weekend.
Wait. He doesn't remember.
It's kind of boring, right?
Sammy just recalled all my concussion symptoms from the motorcycle accident with my mother. So she had a really exciting ride down to the podcast.
How you guys been? How are you being, man? What's your name again?
Good. I'm Rob.
Rob, that's right.
Yeah.
He said it on
This is Rob Snow.
Rob Snow.
Rob Snow is fighting for the
Informer.
Yeah.
I like your bum bum down.
I just fell into 9th grade. You guys did time warp.
Yo, so you're fighting for the middleweight title.
Amateur middleweight steel fist title.
That's right.
Wow, man. How many fights have you had?
So I've only had 3 amateur fights so far. So we're working on getting our 4th one in.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time.
Gonna be, by the way?
Union Event Center.
Oh, okay.
Same place.
shit.
Yeah, you guys are. You
Oh,
guys
that's
have.
right.
You guys have frequented that place for me
a
over the
friend
years.
of ours.
Are you gonna go? Or you're gonna be like, no.
Well, I'm cornering him.
I know, but he's
So,
like,
here's a great connection. A friend of ours, podcast guest,
oh yeah.
Mr. Jason,
Yeah.
met his girlfriend at your.
Oh, that's
The
right.
last time we went and watched your fight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She was a bartender. They're happily together.
Well, you're
He
welcome.
got knocked out the same way you
Yo,
did.
he,
I'm just
he
kidding.
hit me up. He was
With
like,
DNA off of headphones? So
we have a child in their basement.
Oh no!
Hooked up to
shit.
machines.
we keeping him in a black box with a
Anybody
muzzle.
know where we can get some uranium?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Oh my goodness!
But no, that's great, man.
I know. This is. Do you?
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, we'll expect a wedding invitation if we get that far.
Nah.
Yo, just so everybody knows, Sammy's.
yeah, that's
down
right.
here in the
Sammy's not
corner,
on
too.
camera, but
You can poke your face in, and
yeah.
Like, is it angles? Like, how
yeah.
Oh, worried about
It
the
takes me a
There
half
you go.
hour.
She's right there by the garbage, and we can just be like, hey.
Yeah.
Nah.
I have to take 72 gym pictures in the morning,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Horrendous.
and then she has to approve every one.
Of course.
them.
No,
Of course.
I will say this. Okay, I've never seen this before. What just happened outside? I see you every day.
Oh.
You're working out. You're doing all these things.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe you should wait before you say this. Maybe
Yeah,
you should
that's
be
right.
off the
That's
podcast.
right.
I think you should call her out.
call it out. Yeah, he knows. He knows.
He knows you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, he knows.
I know.
Yeah. So you're over
Every
there.
dude in here knows.
You're,
right?
you're over there working out and everything, and then you just told me, "Hey, can I smoke
Yep.
before I go off?"
Yeah. I was being respectful. I don't want to waste your time.
No, it's not about. That's why she keeps smoking, because she doesn't get the message here. It's like,
That-
no, I thought I'd figure I'll be respectful.
That was the nicest way that you can be told. No fucks given.
Yeah,
No
right?
fucks.
It's like, who
I'ma
the
do
fuck
what I
are you?
want.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's like, I survived a bike crash,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
are you kidding me? A pandemic and a motorcycle
I have
accident.
COVID right now.
It's like weird because like I'll go through phases where I smoke and then I'll be like 2 or 3 days and I don't smoke, or I smoke one a day, or.
I will say this though, so once again, the pouches, those nicotine pouches.
Oh yeah.
There was a guy.
You got one?
Have you
My
had
dude.
lozenges?
Well, hold on. There was a guy at work
What is
that
this? Oh.
keeps giving him to me, and I said, I don't know if I should, because I have hypertension, and obviously I'm not taking care of it. You know what I mean?
Hypertension and high cholesterol.
and so every day he's like, hey, and I'm like, motherfucker. So I put one in.
Those are $1 some lemon right now.
She's talking to you. Oh, sorry.
Are you a nicotine guy?
I am a nicotine guy.
What's your nicotine of choice?
So I'm actually,
Dude,
of course.
I should be like,
I'm in the military. We're all nicotine addicts.
that's right, that's right.
Rob is currently an enlisted man.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
For
man.
duty.
He's owned by the government.
Yeah, I'm a slave.
We're all-
And this is what a lot of us slaves
Yes,
this is
that's
it.
my
This
shit
is
right
gangster
there.
right here.
This
Winter
is it.
green if you want her mean.
That's right.
That's what puts hair
Damn
in your,
you if you want to screw.
that's what puts hair in your chest.
That's
How many dips
right.
have you had in your life?
Well, I mean, I chewed for years.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
For some
I've had-
reason, if I thought about you chewing, it would make me think you would turn as green as that can.
Like,
I don't
That's
know
fair.
why. I don't know.
That's
It would make
definitely
you
not
sick,
the
you know what I
vibe.
mean?
Definitely not the
Are
vibe.
you kidding me? Every now and then I see a guy that chews that at work. I'm like, hey, can I? And I open and I go,
Do a quick sniff. Yep. That's a really common thing.
So I
Very
did that.
common.
You get
All
guys
my
asking
sperms
you?
go.
the time. Guys that
So-
have been
He's
in
like, let me
I-
sniff your chew. He's like, that's
Honestly.
not what I'm talking about.
I was a cope.
You have it in your front pocket.
I was a cope straight guy for a long time.
Straight was
I was a
popular.
Copenhagen
I was
straight
gonna-
guy for a long time.
You know what I never got
Straight
into?
was good.
The snuff.
Disgusting.
You pick
Disgusting.
it up and
You're
then
not high-
as
you're
it goes
not
from
high
the can to
society
your
enough.
mouth, it all flies away in the wind.
You're not high
What
society
was that
enough.
stuff in a bag that you and Kane got when we went to
Beach nut, boy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Beach
Beach
nut.
nut.
I'm talking about high school.
Yeah.
You put some leaves in.
Yep.
Spit in the drain.
Yep.
How about Red Man? You guys
Red
fucking
Man leaves?
Ooh,
Absolutely.
The first thing I can
surprised I didn't
remember
drown with
about
fucking
anybody
redneck.
ever chewing in my life, my dad my grandpa and two of my dad's brothers are standing on their back porch, and he pulls a plug. My grandpa pulls a plug out of his overalls,
Jesus Christ.
and it's wrapped in tinfoil. And
Where are you going with this?
he bites off.
Yeah.
You know what I
The
mean?
plug, right?
Yeah, because I mean it's a brick of chew.
Yep.
And he passes it down, and all my dad and all the brothers, all the way down. And I was at the end. I was like, "Me?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is good for you." Well, it's good for you.
Is that
I
the
was like
last time
12.
you've seen a plug?
Probably.
Yeah, that's old school.
Old,
That's
old,
super old
And
school.
he pulls it out of some worn ass overalls he probably worked in all day.
Due to the
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that I watch on TV, you said plug, and I instantly thought about plug. But
So
anyway,
did she. I told you to beware of these guys.
You did. You said it. Oh,
yo,
no.
let me ask you this:
Yeah.
how is obviously we know Eric as the fighter, the
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
You know him as the trainer.
I do, yeah.
So
Eric
how
is
is
the
that?
coach. It's different than seeing him in fight camp. In fight camp, he's obviously he's in fight camp. He's the one that's in there sparring for the 5 minutes, five-minute rounds. But as the coach, he's a lot more hands-on than I think that he would normally be during fight camp. He's also a lot more vocal during training than he is during his own fight camp.
We've gone through some evolution through training, right? And unfortunately, Rob's getting the brunt of it right now. But me and Fabio, we sat down about a month or 6 weeks ago, and I said, "Look, we have got to get a little more structured in what we're doing. Like, we're we're always training, we're training hard, but we're not putting enough structure into the guys that are competing, right? So it's they're kind of all over the place. All of a sudden we're doing a ton of sparring,
Yeah.
and to me, if you go to a gym every day and you spar every day, it's because they don't have anything to teach you. So we've kind of reeled it in. We've gotten back to some basics. For years and years it was 3 rounds of jump rope, 3 rounds of bag work, 3 rounds of pad work, and then class, essentially, whatever
Whatever you're learning.
yeah, whatever we needed to work on specifically for the fighters. And somewhere we got away from that. And Rob loves jumping rope.
Oh God, I fucking hate it.
So the other day,
Fucking hate it.
What do you mean
I
jumping?
hate
Like jumping
rope?
rope, like that
Oh,
like that boxing jumping rope shit.
not like boxing, like when you're on when you're on the schoolyard, like
Yeah, it's
that.
the fucking
With
What are you doing,
beads
modeling or what?
worst.
I'm sexy.
Doing a quick flex. He's like, "Hey, you see this? You see that
So
shit?"
anyway,
Look, this dude is a specimen, so I don't even want to start getting into shit.
That guy,
But
whoever
so
that guy is.
we kind of revamped it.
It is getting hot in here.
And I immediately jumped all over Rob. And he says, "Fuck a jump rope." And I said, "Me and you will fucking fight if you tell me that again." I said, "I'm out of shape, but I'll put gloves on. I will fuck you up. You're going to jump the jump rope." And he's been really good about it since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there's some things about Rob that are very hard to find. He was a bodybuilder for a long time.
Ugh.
And
awesome.
and yeah, and there's a lot of dedication that goes into that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the important thing, and the reason that I bring this up is, so generally you take a fighter, right, or somebody that wants to fight, and they come in and they train for a year-ish, however long, till they get
Ish,
some basics,
big-ish.
and 2-ish, 7-ish.
Before they pick a first fight, right?
Yeah. So, before we'll say, you can represent the gym. So, and then you take 2 or 3 fights teaching them diet and making weight. Really, legitimately, right?
Yeah.
Because, and in my evolution, if I had somebody to take me kind of under their wing, so I didn't have to figure it out all by myself, it would have happened. The diet thing would have been faster. I was always dedicated. I always made weight, all that thing. I cut weight as a heavyweight. The first fight that I had,
That fucking blows me away. I'm sorry. I cannot believe that.
the first fight that I have that I'm coaching Rob for, when was that? It was 19.
It was November 2019.
Yeah. So he's thicker than a Snickers. 3 weeks
Thicker
out.
than a bowl of oatmeal, huh?
But he is shredded.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big and not gonna make weight. It looks like, right?
Like you can
But
rock
he's
climb his back.
he's got abs and he's just shredded. So it was nice for me as a coach.
If I had a sweater right now, I'd be like, anyway.
Stop picking your shit out.
I just stretched my leg.
Just a little bit. I'm gonna cross my
They
arm.
say abs and I went,
I'm gonna cross my arm. So, but I didn't have to coach anything with him for diet.
Right.
So it was he got there wasn't that half hour or whatever every day of me being like, look, you can do this. You can eat the right shit and make weight, right? He had it dialed in. Done. He showed up, night of the weigh-ins, on point. Done.
Wow.
Like
Oh,
that.
that fucking
So,
weigh-ins. Jesus.
Well, he because he was
Will you say what you walk around at?
Yeah, I walk around at like 215, 210-ish, you know, right
fuck,
around
he was
there.
all at 230 when I saw him.
Well, okay, let's take it back.
That's a
I
goddamn
deployed. I deployed last summer for 6 months, right? And so I wasn't fighting. It was COVID season, right? And downrange, the only thing you really got is work, gym, and then go eat some food, right? So I was like, fuck it. Let's lift. Let's get big.
Oh, he looked
You
like he
know?
could squat. He looked like he could squat everything.
including you.
I was hefty.
Yeah.
I was hefty. I
So
came
he
back.
comes back and he's like, I'm going to take a fight. And I was like, in 6 months? 8 months? A year? Because,
yeah. Yeah.
he wasn't, he was still lean, but not like peeled like he was.
No.
And his legs were as big or bigger than mine. And I was like, yeah, you're going to have to lose 20 pounds of fucking muscle.
So-
Not
Yeah.
fat necessarily, but muscle.
so excuse my ignorance. How does that affect someone? Like, for me, if someone is built like that, it means it's in shape. But it seems like it's not good for fighting.
Well, you are in shape, right? So you can be like two different kinds of in shape. There's like aesthetics, so like how you look, right? So you can be like, oh, like damn, I look good naked,
Like,
yeah.
girl.
But then there's performance,
That's what we want, 'cause,
right?
I mean, let's be real.
Everybody wants to look good naked.
Oh, God.
Everybody wants to look good naked.
But then there's the like the performance side, right?
Right.
That's something that I definitely transitioned from going from bodybuilding to fighting, right? But being, more focused on performance rather than aesthetics, you need to consider one, how big you actually are when trying to make a certain weight class. I know last fight specifically, I felt like I was too muscular because no matter what I was going to do cardio wise, I was still going to be breathing heavy. All that muscle takes oxygen. And it's fucking
absolutely.
hard.
Well, and he had, I mean, he's in damn good shape right now, but he had an extra 10 or 12 pounds of muscle that he was carrying around at the time. So
Yeah.
then he had to.
recognized you the other day at the gym when you were in the cage rolling. I looked at Sasha. I was like,
Yeah, who's that
Rob?
ooh, that
I'm like,
skinny
"Yeah,
boy,
Rob."
ugh.
His legs, because his legs were.
Yeah, he was
And then he was
stacked.
wearing,
That's
like,
tree
the-
trunks, huh?
Yeah, I was hefty. I was hefty.
Crow cops laying out there.
Oh, God.
But I mean, but I didn't have to coach him. I mean, I've had fighters that I have had to put together on diet more than training, right? Like,
Yeah.
you got to eat a salad, and you're gonna eat, and you're gonna squeeze lemon on it because you're fat.
That's right.
Not necessarily, I say we call it fat in the gym, but it's not necessarily fat. It's just
He hasn't taken his eyes.
you're
off of me,
overweight,
but he's-
okay? And if you're making 55, or in his instance, if you're making 85 and you're at 98, you're fat.
Yeah.
We'll call you fat, and then everybody in the gym makes fun of you.
Let me ask you this: if you bodybuilded,
Yeah.
like competition, like
Yep, competed and all that.
so at your peak,
Yeah.
the heaviest you ever were,
Yeah.
what did you weigh before you cut? Obviously to
So
compete.
the biggest I ever got was in 2015, and I weighed like 255.
Which is,
So-
I weigh 274 right now,
So
and
when
I'm a foot taller.
when you came in,
If that puts it in perspective, I guess.
was that the most you've ever lost? And obviously, bodybuilders know how to cut weight quick,
Right,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a science,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
But to go from what he says 230 to 185, did you feel it?
So I came back in the end of October, right? And then I started like kind of bullshit practicing, not really, just kind of like get back into the groove, right? And I went from 233 down to like 220 relatively
see,
quick.
there's the truth.
It all
233,
just-
not 215.
Yeah, see, that's that
You got
That
my back.
was-
I appreciate you listening.
Look, that was post deployment, I was hefty. I know it.
He didn't. I mean, he still looked
Chunky.
peeled. I mean, he still had abs, but like I'm like, well, you ain't fighting like in the next 6 months. You're gonna have to lose some weight, Chubby.
Yeah. So I lost that first like 10 or so pounds relatively easy. Then started fight camp diet in the middle of January, and then from 220 down to, the low 190s. Here I am.
What are you at now?
What is your
193.
What's your fight camp diet?
Super meticulous, and it changes all the, like
He's
every week.
very, very. He's very particular, like Jason Laporte is,
Right.
and it's very similar, and it's
Like
it's
what?
completely.
Shout out to Jason Laporte. Right?
Yeah, he's a stud. Jason's a stud.
I dig the podcast.
Yeah,
dig
they've
the
done a
podcast,
great
dude.
job with that
Yes,
podcast. They really have. He was just on.
Yeah, I was just on Wednesday.
So
Okay.
shout out Damage Plan podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you met him?
No, I want to go.
Well, you
I
guys
wanna
should come
talk
to the
him.
fights because I'm sure he'll be there.
Yeah, he'll definitely be
Well,
there.
it's my birthday, so I don't know what's planned for me.
Well, what
fight.
Let's
what could
fucking
be better
party.
than the fight?
Let's fucking
I'm just
party.
saying, I know the wife. I know the
That's
wife.
Saturday, right?
My mom.
Yep.
So we have the show Friday
Friday.
and the fights Saturday. Well, we getting crazy there, bud.
Yo, you were supposed to see us last fight. Remember that? And you got sick.
With COVID.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I
That's
got
it.
so yeah, because oh god, that broke my heart. God, that broke my heart. Me and Fabio have this bromance
Yeah.
that is hard to
now we're
explain,
talking.
right?
Fuck yeah, let me get
So-
comfortable.
So when Fabio moved here from he moves from Brazil to Massachusetts, and then he moves from Massachusetts here, right? And he settles here, and pretty much from the second he gets off of the plane and starts coaching here, me and him meet, and
Started making love.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and I,
In the
you know,
cage,
he
on the mats and around the back.
it was so hot, but he so
Always the topic here. Sorry, continue, please.
I've been in the corner for him all but maybe 2 fights in 10 years, right? 12 years almost now. And he's been in every one of my corners except for one. So, and you know, we talked about a couple of his last performances, some things that I felt that he did really well, some things that I think that he needed to really pedal down on and accelerate and improve on, not necessarily technique wise, but kind of almost mentally, right? Like you can't wait for this guy to come to you. You got to go get him, right? And we just really structured his camp for this guy to be very aggressive, which he's a counter fighter by nature. And I was like, you can't respect this guy. I don't want you. I've never seen him hit and hurt, right? He's been hit. He walks through everything. I've never even fixed a cut on him. He's never bled.
It's tough as fucking leather.
Yeah,
right?
and he's made out of he's made out of wood.
Wood,
He ain't
right,
hurting
yep.
him. But so I was like, you got to go get this guy, right? And we train good. He looks good. It was at 55, so he had to lose like 3 pounds. You know what I mean? Just easy weight cut for him. Didn't have to like put a lot of effort into the diet, or I mean, he's always on his diet, but we didn't have to push it to that level of, you know, getting down to 45 versus 55. So,
Right.
and I mean, I'm telling him, you got to go take this guy's soul, go get him. And then we're a week out, and they start negotiating weight.
Oh yeah.
So we're like,
whole fucking shit show.
we're like 5-6 days out, and they're like, well, instead of 55, how about 60? And I said, well, I mean, what do you think? He's like, I want to fight. It's been, you know, I couldn't fight during COVID. I want to fight.
Yep.
All right. Well, then we go from 60 to 65.
Don't you think, not to stop you, but don't you think that if they, and you guys would know, if they start negotiating weights, it's because somebody's obviously not going to make weight, but trying real fucking hard to get as low as they can, right?
No.
Oh, so just
Yeah.
didn't cut weight.
No.
Just didn't cut
No, no,
weight.
no.
Yeah.
So when I trained at Fairtex in California and I trained with the fight team, they sat us down and they said, you sign a contract, you make an agreement, and you make weight. You don't embarrass our gym.
Right,
Yep.
absolutely.
So what it means to me is he didn't train, he didn't try, he didn't have any motivation, and maybe he's trying to get away with something, right? So we're now from 55, which and I mean we're 5 days out. Fabio's 4 pounds over, and we get to 60.
Now he's under.
And then we get to 65.
Oh, no way.
So the day before the weigh-in, they're like, will you fight him if he's 65? And I'm like, and it's heartbreaking, right? Because you're a fighter, right? And you're in camp, and we train very seriously. I mean, we're an everyday deal. You know what I mean? It's not a part-time gig.
It's a job.
Yeah, it's your
God damn
second.
it,
It's your
right?
second job. And if you work like Rob does, like I did, you know, it's your part-time job.
Yep.
That's 40 hours a week.
Honestly.
So it's hard to tell a fighter. I don't know if this is the right thing. This guy hasn't tried. He's gonna be a weight class and a half higher than you. Maybe this isn't in your best interest. You know what I mean? So it's hard to see somebody take that dedication, that time, that training, that time away from their family and all the things that come with that, and tell them no. It's not your time. We'll just wait till next time. And he's like, I'm fighting this guy, right? So then I get COVID that week.
Yep.
Like,
Test
yeah,
positive
I test
Tuesday.
positive Tuesday, the week of the fight. And I'm calling and I'm texting him and I'm trying to coach him from my couch. And I mean, and then, and fortunately Fierce has done a good job with their show, and they had, they had it on pay-per-view and we were able to watch it. And I'm like calling people in the stands while he's fighting and shit to yell at him
But at the same time, Eric's sitting there afterwards, like trying to like not be emotional about it.
yeah, because I mean this, this gym has.
right there right now.
On top of being sick with COVID.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they'd have let me, I'd have wore one of them face things and like the
Free
masks,
masks and a shield
and a respirator.
Remember
Fuck.
what Dante Wilder walked out with? That
Yeah,
fucking suit? That's
see,
what
I
you
could have
would've
done
worn.
it.
There you go.
Well, our symptoms
So-
were done by then.
Yeah, and by then I was like, I don't even have any symptoms. You know what I mean?
That sucks, man.
But he went out there and everything we trained, he did. He went and put it on him. Never took his foot out of the gas. Hit him until this kid. I mean, because at this point I'm like, this kid don't have no respect. He don't care about you. He don't care about the fight. He don't care about his integrity to make sure that he made a contract to make weight. Right. And it's hard to say. And I don't mean to be harsh on people, because people have personal things that happen. Right. But if that's the thing, then it ain't your fucking time to fight.
Yeah, but don't you know that long before you get into the deep end, right?
Well, I mean, you know it when you're at 65, 5 days out.
right? Exactly.
Honestly.
So I'm jumping up and down, screaming at the TV, and we ordered pizza, and I'm all fat kid up. And,
Right.
but I'm like, fuck him up, you know what I mean? And and I haven't seen him fight like that since he fought Chandler years ago for the title, for the 45-pound title. And he just put it all together. It was a quick fight for him, which is exactly what it should have been. And we're on to bigger and better things. So
Nice.
I mean but that the moral of the story is it's worse for me to coach these guys and then corner these guys than it is for me to fight. I would rather fight. I worry less about my own safety and my own, you know what I mean, than I do about these guys. So there's some weird psychology to it, I guess. And he'll know one day. One day he'll coach
Yeah.
and he'll be like, God, Eric was yelling at me about jumping rope and he told me he'd fight me, and now I know why.
Is the training different for every fighter?
The basics are the basics.
Yeah. For sure.
I'll let you.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, obviously, some are gonna have like their strong suits and weak suits, right?
Okay.
So like we've got guys in our team who are just exceptional wrestlers, right? And so when it comes down to like wrestling time, we're not like going into practicing. Okay, we're gonna work this guy in wrestling because he doesn't know how to do it, right? And on the vice end of that, we've got guys that are exceptional kickboxers, right? And so when it comes to kickboxing time, we're looking them to more of like a teaching aspect or more of like a guiding aspect. Rather than being like, oh, hey, we're going to push you today because this is your weak point.
What about from fight to fight?
There's some things that you change fight to fight depending on
Your opponent, I'm guessing.
yes, and depending on tape.
How much you know about them, right?
Exactly,
You know?
depending on tape, depending on and typically at the level that Rob's fighting at, I don't look at the fighter. I look at the gym they come from.
Yep.
Because certain gyms have different strengths, and things like that. The main thing that I'm looking for is this fighter known to be aggressive? Is he a slow starter? Is he a fast starter? Is he gas out? Those are the things that I want to know about individual fighters. And I it's funny you say that. So we're at the gym last night. Stereo's blaring. And I'm talking to another fighter that we have that's fighting on the card in 8. And, he's like, well, what if he does this? And what if he does that? And what if he does this? And it's typical fight. It's typical fight nerves, right?
Yeah.
It happens to all of us. And they're a week out right now, right?
Yeah.
They weigh in 7 days they weigh.
Yep.
So I'm yelling at him over the,
Don't just yell,
I'm okay. I scream at him over the music because he's 10 feet away from him and the music's blaring and everybody's wrapping up. And I'm screaming, it doesn't fucking matter what he does.
Yeah.
It only matters what you fucking do to him. And right as I'm screaming this, somebody turns the music off.
So funny.
And there's
So funny.
there's kids. There's kids holding their D's.
Honestly.
Mommy, what's wrong with
Like
you?
9-year-olds watching.
Kids crying in the back.
Why does this?
Why
Why
is
does
he
this-
so mad at him?
Why is this big man screaming at this
Yeah,
much
it's-
smaller man? Why is this happening?
It's hurtful. But I mean,
Jesus.
I was told that a long time ago, and the stuff that I regurgitate to this guys are exactly that stuff that was told to me. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they're going to do. It matters what you're going to do to them. So you apply your game to them. Don't worry about what their game is. And I mean, of course, you got to make sure. Okay, this guy leans towards wrestling, so we got to make sure you can defend that and get yourself in good positions for that and do these things, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to punch him, you better. If he takes you down, you better get the fuck up and punch him.
Yep.
But you have to know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
What do you do after? After the, let's just say you wake up in the morning, you do your whatever it is that you're eating to either gain or lose weight.
Yeah.
I'm getting him.
We're just gonna stop him.
Hilarious.
Somebody take a picture.
I don't want to.
Somebody take a picture quick. Crawling on the ground. Ah.
It's locked
There's a
too.
lock on the side of
It's
that.
locked.
Just make
They
it
locked
even
their
longer.
beer fridge.
Let's just wait for her
This
to
is
be
going
done.
on my story.
No,
This is
but-
my favorite thing that's happened.
So after the training's done, after the dieting is done,
Don't tell her that her head
what-
gets bigger.
what do you do to stay focused? I'm saying once you wake up, you do your workout in the morning, whatever, and then you eat your diet, and then you work out at night, and then you go. The time that you are home and you're done with everything, how do you stay focused?
I think that's a great question, actually, because I think that
Yeah.
varies from person to person. So I'm impressed how well you thought that out. But
You know what?
it changes from fighter to fighter. I don't know, no, because I don't want to derail it. Let me tell you.
Jesus from fighter to fighter. Next question.
No, I want to hear. I want to hear what he says. I want to hear what he says.
Hey, it's a,
Because I don't know, because I haven't asked.
go ahead, because my next question is about
fair.
anal, but go ahead.
That's right. Hey. That's funny. Personally, like I try to just keep distracted, whatever that may be. So I'm a full-time employee, as part of a slave of the government. Just kidding, Air Force. Don't fuck me up. Don't fuck me up.
Bleep that.
But I'm also a full-time student. I have a wife and I have a daughter at home, right? And so I'm constantly busy. And that's a really big thing for me because if I'm bored or if I'm just sitting, I think about food, almost obsessively, not too much, but almost like I'm a big food
What's
guy.
your favorite?
Of what? Too many factors. Too many categories.
If you could just say, I want this right now, and it shows up.
Cheeseburger.
Oh, my
Bacon cheeseburger right now.
With bacon and blue
From where? From where?
So there's a restaurant downrange in Abu Dhabi called Blacktop Burger.
Well,
Holy hell.
My God.
Come on.
I don't think
We drive our Lamborghinis down there.
Look,
I mean, that's a drive.
it's a mission to get there.
Leave now.
It's a mission
tomorrow,
to
right?
get
this
there.
episode come out before we even get there.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
From here, what's your favorite joint?
From here, fuck. There's a burger joint here in Salt Lake City. No, it's 21 and up, and it's a craft burger joint that's also a bar, which is why I'm not frequently going there because I can't bring my kid there. Lucky's. Yeah.
Lucky's is
So,
good.
BJ Penn
Damn
says
good.
the greatest garlic burger. My man, BJ Penn. The greatest garlic burger in the world comes from Lucky
We're
7.
going there after this.
Oh yeah,
It's incredible.
I guess we're in.
Incredible. I've
The
only,
line will be around the
Just right
block.
down the road.
yeah, it's
The line will be around the block.
Oh, really?
It'll be. Yeah.
It's so good.
I've been there twice.
I've been there once, and I won't say it, but
You referred me there once, but I
Before
don't
I
think we
went.
made it.
nah,
You
damn.
like it?
I liked it. I just didn't know what the big fuss was about.
So
But obviously, I've only had one burger. What's that?
Where'd you get your Mexican food from the other day?
Oh, it's a place called Maria's Restaurant, and it's
And
in
it's where? West Valley?
Mill Creek.
She laughs after she was wrong.
We don't.
She's like, I didn't know Mexicans go to Mill Creek.
She says that. I'm like, oh, here we go. And she said, oh, no. Oh. And then she laughed. I'm like, yep. The joke comes around every time.
I was like, West Valley instant.
I think Rob's response to that makes a lot of sense. I think that in my career, I'd get done at training and I'd go home and Sammy'd do 45 pounds of laundry every day. And I would sit on the couch, and even though we're watching TV or whatever after we eat and we're doing whatever, I think that I sat and thought about the fight.
Thought about
Yeah.
it, huh?
I do. I don't think I ever gave myself a reprieve from the fight. So,
Right.
because I can be,
That's before and after.
yeah, but I can be obsessive about things, to the point of madness.
So, as a trainer now, do you do that?
No,
You guys you train? You don't?
I would never want the things that are going through my head while I'm sitting on the couch and the kids are, watching TV with us. And
We
just
can't
got
say
done-
on the podcast, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I've got my family around and I'm sitting on the couch and we're watching a movie or something, right? And
Right.
in my head, I'm constantly running through scenarios of fights that never stops. And, I need to be in bed at 9:15 to be up for my first workout at 5:30, right? Or whatever. And I'm laying in bed till 11 thinking about,
Yep.
what if this happens, and you're fighting the unknown, right? Your mind's fighting the unknown because none of these things are actual things. It's not something that has happened or even likely something to happen, right? But it's obsessive. But I mean, I've also heard guys say that if you're not obsessed, don't do it.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not
you're
worth
gonna
it,
get hurt.
right?
I kind of do something similar to that. Actually, I kind of focus mainly on like the first contact. I don't know why that is, but for some reason, that first contact, right after y'all touch gloves, that first interaction, that first jump, that on replay constantly. Like I go to bed thinking that, I wake up thinking that.
Most fighters say after the first punch, you go into autopilot, right?
Yeah.
Well, you hope.
Well, yeah.
Well, you hope.
No, I can tell you. I can tell you, and Rob can tell you from his experience too. But I can tell you that I get hit, and I call it a blood up fighter, right? I get hit, my blood gets up. Well, So one of two things happen. I either start trying to analyze it, which is the wrong thing,
Yep.
or I go into autopilot and then I win. Not there's no, and I'm a huge Donald Cerrone fan. I love him. And he said, and this is the most accurate description of it I've heard, is he said, it's almost like I'm looking over my shoulder playing a video game. And my body's just doing the things that it needs to do, right? And if I get there, I'm winning for sure. I'm not going to get beat. If I get taken out of that somewhere in the fight or something else happens, then now I'm in danger, right? And I mean, Rob can tell you his experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I think that, I can kind of connect with that whole, blood up kind of mentality. I know that the later on rounds of my sparring tend to be better just because I'm not as fresh.
We
or
just experienced that this week, as a matter of fact.
Not as tight, I think. I'm a little bit more loose. I've gotten hit a few times, so
And
I'm not
he's
concerned.
Yeah.
The ears open up a little bit.
The good thing is he we're doing 5, 6, 8 rounds. And we get into those later rounds, and you can tell he's tired. But then all of a sudden, he starts listening really well, and then all of a sudden, he's just
On point.
looks like a world beater.
What about your? I'm guessing your families. Do they support you, or they were like, I don't want you to get beat, or like, I don't like it when you get punched, or
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. I know that the 3 main family members that play a role in that is like my kid, my wife, and my mom.
My wife, and my wife.
There we go.
Can you do that?
Get out of here.
And they, that's so funny. They all have different reactions.
Right.
So my kid, who's 2 years old, loves it. Huge fan. She's a little girl, right?
You got a girl, huh?
Little girl.
Fighters have girls.
I got 2 of those too.
Great.
Yeah, she's the cutest little
awesome
thing, and
she
she's
gave me a high five.
And like when my kids were little, and she kind of
downstairs?
growing up in the
Nice.
gym, and she's in the gym with
wait,
Dad.
you didn't see him?
I stayed in here.
Yeah,
I didn't
they-
know they were out.
Walked
they're-
out.
they're
But yeah,
outside the room.
she loves it. She's a big fan of she notices, she can recognize when there's fighting, and she recognizes that, oh, you do that at practice. That's her like annotation to that. So she's a big fan of it, loves it, supportive, all that, for as much as a 2-year-old can be. Then I've got my wife, who's a little bit more on the nervous side. Obviously, she's supportive because I'm here doing it, right? But she's definitely more cautious, a little bit more nervous, doesn't have a whole lot of experience even being a fan of it, much less being, a first-hand supporter.
That would be very similar to Samantha.
So it's still support, but it's like a different kind. And then I have my mom, who's really active in being supportive of it, but she like raised me, pretty much by herself since I was like 8 years old. And I was constantly in combat sports, whether it was in wrestling or just a contact sport like in football. And so she's just really big on like, hey, you go in there and go fucking whoop some ass.
Nice.
nice.
That's awesome.
So that's how
completely
she
opposite
kind
of my
of,
mother.
that's how
Very
she's
nice.
about
Yeah.
it.
Don't let him hit you in the face.
That's funny.
That's all.
She's like, well, Mom, I try that every day.
I'd rather not.
Every fighter's got a. Are you a striker? Are you a wrestler?
Well,
He's like, I'm a bodybuilder.
there it is.
Flex on me.
Oh no.
And don't say I'm a mixed martial artist.
That's so fucking lame.
He's like, I do.
Yeah, what are you?
I
Now I
do
wanna hear
crochet.
Shit.
I mean, you're sitting next to your kickboxing coach.
Right here.
Out of all the things, I know I really like to box. Kicking is I'm still working on it. I'm still not like great at it. Which is why I throw like lower leg kicks or some stuff like that.
So we've been concentrating on
calf
kick
kicks?
volume.
Yeah, calf kicks.
man.
Fuck yeah.
We've
That's a fucking relief.
been concentrating on kick volume a lot with these guys.
Have we?
He comes in the other day. He's like,
Have you taken a kick from this mule right here?
Yeah, just a fucking demonstration. Gives me a little quick demonstration kick. I'm like, are we going right now? Are we fighting?
I about did that.
Is this
last
happening
night.
right now?
I was holding the pouch
so
and he was
gentle.
like, let me just show you. And
I got.
Eric, can throw some legs.
I
Oh,
can.
Jesus Christ.
I can. I am a good kicker.
Yeah.
I am. And I haven't, I mean, I've thrown in my 20-something years of training, I've thrown kicks that even right now where I'm in horrible cardiovascular shape and we're working on that currently. But
The dick still works though, right?
granite.
Yes!
Granite.
Granite.
Give me the applause on the board, please. Yeah, there we go.
I can walk into anywhere and know that if I throw a kick, it's going to ruin your life.
That's funny.
It's going to be a real
That's
bad
like
day.
when the kids don't want to do shit at the house. I'm like, hey, do you remember how Dad throws that kick at the gym?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, do
That's
the
your just
dishes
fact right.
or you're taking a leg kick. Hey, we're
Every
doing it.
time.
Samantha's kicks are coming along nicely, though, I must
So,
say.
the dude you're
Did she
fighting,
take a smoke
Yeah.
break after that?
what does he fight out of?
Yep.
He fights out of Factum. That's what it's called.
Okay, yeah,
Factum
yeah.
MMA or Factum Gym,
Factum's
something
got
like
a
that.
good gym.
What's
they
his
got
name?
a good gym.
Excuse our ignorance.
Graham.
Angel's like,
I have a reason.
Angel's like, hey, Eric's bringing a fighter. I'm like, well, who's? Oh, I'm not quite sure, but he's gonna be
Justin's
there.
my dude, though, because Justin
yeah.
is researching and he knows and he's into
Yeah,
it and he's
that's why I
done
feel bad.
jiu-jitsu.
I'm
and-
just here for the dick and
Hey.
fart jokes.
Is that why you're so
I
fired?
know, yeah. I'm all
Yeah,
thinking.
got
we'll
you.
get to that in 2
So,
seconds.
What's this cat's record?
He's 3-3.
3-3.
3-3. So he's got a few more amateur fights than I do. But I mean, we're fucking amateurs. So
Right.
How dare you?
it doesn't.
go-
Come on.
Hey, man, everybody.
Come on.
Everybody.
When I'm done with him, he
Come on. There's a different level of expectation when it comes to 1, capabilities, 2, skill level, and 3, just overall consistency in the gym.
Fight you right now.
For amateur, tell me I'm wrong.
You are.
Come on. That's
Yeah, because there's a lot
Come
of
on.
a lot of really high level.
not our
there
gym,
can-
not our
there- no,
gym,
there
or
can
not
be-
the name brand gyms in the area.
There can be a difference.
Come on.
There can be a difference in skill level. There can be a difference in skill level that I can respect. There absolutely is, and usually it's a difference in time spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Big factor.
that is a factor because I was one of them rare guys. I trained for like 10 years before I took my first fight. So I mean, when I walked in, I was probably real close to going pro already.
Damn.
But
Yeah, but you started in Fight Club, though.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
right there on the corner.
Bar fights. I had, they set up a ring in the bar and we went and fought, and I
Exactly,
didn't know
see?
shit.
Well,
So
our kids did their jiu-jitsu tournament last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
yeah, they
I was gonna
did. It
bring
was
that up.
awesome. It was
Some
amazing.
dude walks in, and Eric's like, I think that's the fucking guy. And I'm like, what guy? He goes, that was my first kickboxing match.
No.
Or whatever.
Well, I'd had 5 kickboxing matches before I went to
Is
MMA.
this
what
the
guy?
bar one? Where they said,
no,
hey, who wants
no.
to fight?
Yeah, and he's already 30 shots deep.
Yeah,
It was
no.
a
So
different
this
So
he
that's
was
the guy. He goes, what guy? The guy I met up with.
Right.
so he was my first amateur MMA fight,
There you go.
Oh, okay.
and I mean I haven't seen him since that fight.
Did you talk to him?
No,
No.
Oh, you didn't?
no.
Why? He beat you?
Um,
No, you beat him, right? You beat him.
I don't know. I guess I didn't ask
that
that
was
question.
that was.
But our
Such an
kids were.
asshole. I love it.
I don't.
Why?
Eric's
Is that
like
why?
not laughing.
I don't. Well, okay. I want to tell the story.
Okay,
but
dude,
I don't.
am I gonna look like an asshole?
I
right now?
don't want to disparage anybody.
He's all, I died out
You don't
there.
want to diss what?
I don't want to disparage anybody, so I don't want to talk bad about it.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know. I don't think he listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
Just be
I would
real.
guess. Yeah.
He's our
And
number one fan.
so he was a state wrestling champion as a heavyweight as a junior,
Oh shit.
and
You said this
was.
story too the first time you were here.
I might have. So I was. I kickboxed forever, but I never wrestled. I did like 2 years of jujitsu on and off. And we set up that whole fight camp just for defensive wrestling and me get back up. So I'm going to try to make this brief because I think I have said this on the podcast before. But he takes me down the first round, breaks my nose. He's on my back. He hits me up underneath. It's gush. I mean, my nose is so fragile. But so We get back up in the second round. We go out. He's got some confidence now, right?
Yeah.
He's 320 pounds, and
He was still a big dude.
yeah, and he's I mean, he's two of me right now, right? And I was about 300 pounds. I was real heavy for me now, but he breaks my nose. He's got some confidence. We go out in the second round. 2 exchanges. I throw 2 punches. He takes a half a step back, brushes his shoulder off,
Oh, no way.
Holy
and then
shit.
takes a step forward and throws a cross at me. And I throw my cross down the pipe, and I mean, mine's cleaner.
Right.
So it lands first, and it knocks him out. And it knocks him out so bad that he falls down and hits the
Start.
he hits the cage and bounces. And he's out. His, like, you know what I mean? His mouthpiece falls out and stuff. And he was unconscious for over 2 minutes.
Oh, you should have went and talked to him.
Well, his mom came up crying
Oh, man.
as I was
Hold
leaving
on,
the
we've
cage.
seen you do that to somebody, and he was out for 5.
I mean, let's be real.
We were just like, we went from this to like, man, should we go down
Yeah,
there?
okay. We were screaming
he
our guts
okay?
out to, where's the Andor?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, he's going to jail. He just killed some motherfucker.
So,
We're gonna have to erase that episode.
Yeah, he can't be on our podcast. He's a murderer.
Or going down as being.
Oh my god.
yeah, known as. So, his mom comes up and she's in tears, and I'm so like I'm excited.
Of course.
Right, and I'm dancing around the cage and stuff, and then I realize he isn't up, and then I realize the paramedics are in there, and then I realize that they're rolling him over. He's still unconscious, and now I'm worried, and I'm trying to get over there like some guys do, and the refs you know, give him room, step back. So as I'm leaving the cage, you know, I'm so happy I won, but at the same time, I'm like,
Felt bad,
I might
yeah.
have changed his path in life, you know, and his mom comes up and
He's a volleyball coach now.
You can't laugh.
she's bawling. She comes up to me and she's bawling, and she says, "That's my son. That was my son." And I said,
Oof.
and I
Fucking.
as I recall, and it's been a whole bunch of years. I mean, 10 years, but as I recall, I said, "Well, he was going to knock me out if he could."
Right.
Yeah.
And I told her that, and I said, "I'm sorry, but he would have hurt
Do
me
the
if he
same.
could."
Fair.
Right.
Very fair. Absolutely.
But I don't think I've seen him since that night. But his son was in the grappling competition. I think he did really well because obviously he's got good
Nice.
background.
And our
And
daughter took first.
yeah,
Yeah,
she won.
Hey, get some applause right there.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
She won her first sword
Yeah.
for her division, and she beat a girl that was a belt up and
First
3
sword,
stripes.
is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, she, you know.
So she won a sword. It's a sword. They give you a sword for winning your division.
Yeah, and now she's into fencing.
Now I stay out of her room.
No.
And she's
You can not clean your room. It's okay.
Well, we have room inspections every Thursday
Not
night.
just,
So
not
we
just in the
haven't had room
garage with the,
inspections
not just in the
since-
garage with the
That's
grinder. He's got a
Sharpening it.
He's got a
Taking her fingernail and making sure it's fucking sharp.
Oh
her
god.
facial
Yeah,
on.
come check
She's
my
like
room.
this
I'm
tall.
ready for you.
Yeah, it's on her back because it's a katana or
Yeah.
it's a Japanese. God, I don't know. My brain went
Katana.
Katana,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she's got it on her back. She's like, "Come check the room." It's good.
Here's my report card, bitch.
Standing in the hallway.
From here, I can see your room straight.
Yeah, in the hallway. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Don't even worry about it.
And
You're
then our
good.
little boy, he didn't win. And he was laughing during the tournament, you know.
Having a good time.
Having
yeah.
a good time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm like, get serious, get
He's
serious.
so-
And he's like, he's heavy. And I'm
He's
like,
so funny. He just,
but
you know, and I guess I knew that.
That was a shut the fuck up, mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably.
yeah. But so,
Well, and it's grappling, so I'm like, don't lay under him.
but yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Get
So
out.
like we have Fabio sitting there, you know, yelling at Vibes, like coaching him and stuff. And Bobby walked off the mat and he was like, "All right, yep, I just did that." Well, the kid was choking him out, so he defended.
Yeah, and
the
it
choke.
showed that he's paying attention.
he's
He's learning
learning.
because
Yeah,
he's
he's learning.
7 months into actually training.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the boy that he rolled with had already done no gi with tap, submission, not submission.
No submission,
We
and then
watched this boy roll all day, like this other boy that was competing against Bybee. Well, Bobby walks off the mat and he's like, well, I lost, like, it's fine. And then, not that it was fine, but he was like, I'll go to, like, whatever.
Hold on.
Is that a real name, by the way? Is that a real name?
Yeah, it's his name, Bybee.
Bybee?
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this story
I see you
over.
writing it, but I don't know.
I'm gonna take this story over because it's kind of a proud dad moment, right? The ref goes over and picks up a medal, the pewter-looking participation medal, and goes and says, "Here, buddy, you did it. Good job. You tried. And he looks at this thing.
He says, I have only give this to one other kid today.
Yeah.
But since you were such a good sport, I'm giving it to you too.
Oh, cool.
So he looks at this thing in disgust.
Absolute.
Like and then it hit him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, I didn't. No, I don't. He didn't want to have. I don't even know if he knows where it is.
Yeah, no,
he didn't want to have any part of it. So at least he recognized that. And I talked to him, and I'm telling him, I'm like, look, I've lost. I get it. I said, but the only thing you can do is go to the gym and work at getting better.
And he says, I mean, like, I'll go back on Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just
So
of course. Like, I'll be there on Monday. Duh.
But
like,
the thing that would make you the most proud about him, and it's very similar to Kane, the oldest in the house, is that he won't dwell on it. He'll just kind of go back to work.
I was worried about it 'cause he didn't
use it in his arsenal.
He didn't speak
yeah.
a word
Absolutely.
for an hour. Like, 'cause we saw
Hopefully
the
Mia
picture,
does some.
Hey, that's the plan. Just got to get a couple more years up, you know?
We gotta get her to
he
5.
Didn't say a word the
That's
whole time.
right.
So like probably 30, 45 minutes. Bobby didn't say a word. Everyone wanted pictures with him and stuff, and he's like, and this kid, you can't make him shut up even if you paid him to shut up.
You're wondering if he's breathing. He talks so much. How do you breathe? Do you have gills?
Got a case of diarrhea in the mouth. Huh?
Do you have gills? Are you sucking air through your neck as you're talking?
He like goes home with his dad, right? And like we go home, and then he comes back to our house, like whatever, right? And then he's sitting outside talking to us, and he's like, and Eric's like, so how do you feel about it? And he's like, well, I mean, that kid was bigger than me, and he starts to like say like, well, and he had trained this and trained that, and he's like, but I will say this, and like, so he started to like,
he's
really
talking about what he did right.
And what he needed to work on.
Which is super weird
man.
because Bybie's just that kid that's just like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
The real reason why I want him to stay in jiu-jitsu is because he talks so much shit. He needs to learn how to defend himself.
That's
How great is
hilarious.
that?
And I tell him
having
that, like-
kids in combat sports now.
I think every kid should do it. I think every human should do it. I think everybody should know some basics of defending themselves, understand.
Tell them the story about the little boy
And
that came over for a
simple
barbecue.
discipline.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Simple discipline,
That's
right?
huge.
Well, even just for-
huge.
There's some things that you will learn in the gym about yourself that you will not learn anywhere else. There's no possible way you could know this about yourself unless you were there experiencing it. And the way that our training structured, for instance, for Rob is he's got a fresh guy every minute to spar with, or he's got a fresh guy every minute to wrestle with, and you get into the deeper rounds, you get into 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 rounds, and you fucking know what you are. Boy.
Right.
How deep you can go.
Holy hell. Holy hell.
And the culture of the gym is it's don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
Right? So you get
In
into
an
the
encouraging way. Let's just clarify that. No one's
yeah.
getting like, you fucking pussy.
No,
like,
no. But the expectation set, that started with Fabio that, was trained into me when I was getting ready at first for MMA, especially because kickboxing came pretty easy to me. But it don't.
You laugh like that.
Yeah, I was like, I fucking know my legs know shit.
It don't matter how hard it is. It only matters that you keep going, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna get beat up. You're not gonna win in
That's
the
just an
training.
air click. Don't worry about it.
I like the vibration.
And then even with that though, like it rolled into our daughter too, because like she had missing assignments, right? Like in March or in February.
I said you're not competing if you're missing anything.
But not only are you not competing, but you're not going to the gym.
Yeah.
Like.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And
That's
I had,
a good one.
So it was like she stayed in from recess.
Yeah,
Like
to get
she
caught up.
Legitimately was like.
But it was something that struck a nerve with her, and she respected and
And
understood.
I told her I was like,
And turn
sorry,
it
no
around.
jujitsu.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
was like, but I've trained so hard, and I was like, well, you've got one job.
Yeah.
You know what I
Honestly.
mean? So
Yeah,
your job
this-
is school, and That's when she was like,
Yep.
"You're right."
He's
You know what I
he's
mean?
done for the day. He's just
and you
He's like, I'm
sick
clogged
of it.
out, bro. I'm
But
good. I'm
But that
You-
gym mentality flows.
you talk to somebody like Rob, right?
Yeah.
And he's full time with the Air Force, student full time dad, and he's got essentially what occupies all of 8 weeks of diet and exercise and training and lifting and all these things that go into it, and you take a guy like that and or let's say you take 50 people. And you have 50 people that say they want to fight,
Yeah.
right? And then you get to the ones that will just show up to the gym every day. And now we're down to 10, maybe. And then you get to the guys that will monitor their diet and weigh everything they eat
Yep.
and go to the gym twice a day, 6 days a week. And sacrifice time with their families and put pressure on their wives and do all these things that happen, right? And now we're down to 2, maybe. So it's not for everybody,
Yeah.
but it's just being in the gym, regardless if you're ever going to fight or compete. It's just, if you're in the right place and you're in the right people, and you're going to learn things about yourself you can't learn anywhere else. And it started with me at Fairtex, especially because I wasn't competing for a while when I was training there. But when I left and on them sparring days, and I had to walk up the hill in San Francisco to my car, and I was wondering if I'd make it because my legs are so beat up. Oh, I got to come back and do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of like that aspect too of like people when they're like, "Oh, I just feel so much better when I go to church." Like when I go to church, I just feel so much better. It's like, well, it's because who are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah, see that. Take a look at that.
When
Take a
you're
look at
at
it. Take a
church,
look
you're
at
surrounded by all
it.
these people that are
Here's in my
happy.
front pocket.
It's nice.
You're obviously gonna be a
It wasn't
happy
awkward until you
person when
made
you're
it
at church. So it's like when you go to the gym. it's
No,
the
I'm
same
good.
thing.
Thank you.
I was gonna
on.
mention we were talking about you kicking him and having a kick from you. I had the opportunity to train with is it Sakasem?
Yes. So Sakasem.
Sakasem.
Sakasem was not my first legitimate Thai coach.
Yeah.
I trained kickboxing under a guy named Chris Fisher who taught me a ton.
Yeah.
And then I trained under Mickey Porritt, which was a student of Sakasem's and helped
So
run Sakasem's
Sarah,
gym.
Mickey's sister.
Yes.
She was training there.
Yes.
And also training people.
Coach, yeah.
So yeah, coaching. So he was the one that would put me in so he would pick us one by one to work paths.
Yeah.
And then as I was going, every now and then he's obviously putting resistance for me. And
He's
then every
hitting
now
you.
and then but you're so focused on the paths.
And then
he would be like,
I'm a professional.
no, but he will make it like obviously me. I mean, I don't have that much training on it, but I was like so focused on the paths and talking about kicking. He would like make you focus, and he go, hey, and then he will kick you.
Yeah.
Even though he was kicking me to fuck around, I was just like, motherfucker. And then I just keep going, and then he just gets you worked out, and then it was boom, then he kicks you again.
I will tell you, a
Bah.
Thai is never kicking you to fuck around.
These are facts.
He's kicking you to make sure you know that you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of, I've had some great Thai coaches, and Fairtex and Jongsanam Fairtex and Ganyao Fairtex and all these guys in Sakasem. And they all came from Thailand together and started Fairtex in Arizona. And then for whatever reason it disbanded and Sakasem came here, and the other gentleman went to San Francisco and opened a gym. So
Great gloves,
Bunkered,
by the way.
Bunkered was the other one. Bunkered was kind of the ringleader at the time of organizing all these guys. But I can tell you, I've actually sparred with Sim, and he's 5.5 feet tall.
Yeah, they're all little. Dude, they're all
Not
little.
Ganyao.
He's such a shorty.
Ganyao's 6'2" to 6'3" ish. Ganyao's fairly tall and big, and he hit me once, and I wanted to die because I wasn't paying attention, right?
Yeah.
But I was sparring with Sam, and he never punched me, but he kicked the fuck out of me, and I felt like every time I threw a punch, he kicked me.
Yeah.
He kicked me in the body. He kicked me in the legs. He was out of the way. I don't know if I ever landed a punch on him. And he just kept kicking me and kicking me. And they used to have names, and they called him Ganya was Dr. Knee, and Sakasen was Dr. Punch. He was a hard hitter, like he punched hard, and N was Dr. Kick. And so on and so forth. But so this guy that's known for being a puncher is just kicking the shit out of me, and he's 5.5 feet tall, and I just want to die. Like,
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Same.
No, it hurt like a motherfucker. So you gotta go, dude?
You gotta leave?
No. It's probably just it's an app that gets called my mom texting me, "Hey, how's your day going?" All the time.
You can call your mom. We can put her on the podcast. How you doing, Mom?
Oh God.
I'm gonna tell her you're chewing.
Oh shit! I spent all that money on them goddamn braces just for you to
Oh, I
put
still
that
have
dip in
braces.
your lip.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm almost done.
Northern California.
Northern California?
Yeah.
Like where at?
Like
You're in Northern California, boy?
yeah.
God, I don't talk to you at all.
No, yeah, fuck off.
We're interviewing this guy right now.
I know. I'm learning. We've been in the gym together for over a year,
Honestly.
and I'm learning all these things.
Eric, so wait.
What's your name?
You're not just 185 guy. That's crazy.
How
Right?
come you're not awake?
He's all Rod? No, it's
Chunky
Rob.
monkey. How come you're not awake?
No, but I'm from
Where?
Sutter County.
What?
Where?
Sutter County.
Do you know where Truckee is?
I know where Chucky is. Yeah.
So I
She
have
grew
family
up
in
right next to
Truckee.
Truckee.
I grew up in Nevada City.
he's
like-
my-
Oh, okay. My mom lives in Truckee.
Like right now?
Yes, right
My
now.
uncle runs a ski school in Truckee.
So my stepfather, you could say my mom's husband, they both work at Squaw Valley.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Small world.
small world. My aunt and uncle lived on Tahoe, so they could where their house was, they could just ski onto the resort.
dude, it's so beautiful out
It
there.
is.
So beautiful
Yeah,
out there.
but
When we
it's
go
so
there,
If we were
It's-
gonna plan a summer trip to
it's
Tahoe.
so
we don't want to get into
California.
logistics about
September,
California.
Yeah.
so cold.
Where's
family.
Sutter?
So-
Sutter County?
Sutter County.
What's the town?
Sutter?
But it's past cold.
Where is it?
Hey, you're not training right now, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Would
I
you
know.
stop
That's why I'm
yelling
trying
at
to
him?
find out
It's
some
like,
personal.
Part of the Beehive right now.
Now,
Chill out.
now I'm gonna know where he
So-
lives and shit.
I'm like
Reading,
an hour, like 2.5 hours or so just south of Reading.
Reading.
2.5 hours
Okay,
or
yeah,
so.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, news what? What news?
What news? What?
You said news, by the way, news. You were going to say something.
I didn't say news.
Or
Oh, you know what? You are right. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Could get your shit in a pile.
What was her? What? I said her, but yeah, I guess that's right. Caitlyn Jenner
yeah.
is going to run for mayor of California.
Oh, fuck.
So good. I can't wait.
So that's what I'm saying.
I actually read that
California,
too. I think.
Really?
California broke off. Yeah.
When the fuck did that come out?
Is that
Hey,
is Sutter
hey.
is Sutter County
remember we're on a
like
podcast,
weed
all right,
town?
Oh,
Or,
yeah, oh, yeah.
Kinda,
No,
it's,
I'm just saying,
kinda.
Like,
so because a lot of those like
I'd have to get all my family out of
a lot of those California towns that you haven't heard of in Northern California are very high in weed production.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of
right
weed.
on the ozone.
And they,
I think I got family in Palo
California.
Alto.
I mean, California in general.
so
is-
Palo Alto is
Yeah.
South Bay. Would be like
I
down
just
by
wanted
San
to fit
Jose.
in. Fuck you.
So yeah.
Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad for myself that I acknowledge that.
Damn.
Fuck off.
So did the military
Butt
bring you
toucher.
here to Utah?
Yeah, I came here
He's so
solely.
lucky. He's so lucky.
Shit. I was actually in Keesler before this. I was in
Okay.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
In Mississippi.
Is it hot there?
Holy hell, it's hotter than nothing else. I got there and it's humid. It's
Do you cut weight
disgusting.
easy?
Like nothing. You walk
Yeah.
outside, lose 10 pounds of water. That's your water
You're
cut.
not gonna be 230 in fucking Mississippi, are you? Chunky?
Hey. I was
Hey,
hefty.
remember that post I said? My daughter said,
But-
I told my daughter, come here, Chucky Monkey. She says, okay, fat.
I was at Keesler, right, which is where I was at for just a little bit of time, maybe a month and a half prior to going to Hill here in Utah, and everybody was getting really cool orders to like Arizona and cool orders to like California or somewhere on the East Coast, and then
How
I
did
read
you not feel
mine.
that it was cool orders?
I
You go,
It's cold in the
on
winter.
paper, it was Ogden, Utah. And I looked it up. I was like, okay, I'll look up Ogden,
Fair
Utah.
enough. I grew up
and it was
there.
like 7 months of winter.
Dog food plant.
Mormons.
On Wall Avenue, right? You know?
smells-
Honestly.
It smells so nice. So nice.
So-
It actually makes me hungry. It instinctively.
You're
It's time to eat.
You're
Are you
at
right now?
Hill Air Force Base.
Yes.
I lived with a couple. I moved into a duplex when I was 20,
Yeah.
and the couple upstairs were from California, but they were stationed here in Hill Air Force Base. So I used to go on base all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Do you go to the BX
Yeah, I go to the BX.
all the time? They
Not all the
They still have the bar down there.
So
Golf course.
they've got the golf course bar. They got the golf course area,
okay.
but I mean, you know, it's a military
What is
base.
the other bar called?
Yeah,
We all
used to
drink.
get-
We all
remember
fucking
party
drink.
balls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Party
right.
because you
Balls
could
with
get them
fucking-
on base.
Because you can get them on base.
Yeah.
We used to get them all the time.
So
$55 to get you a party ball and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get the party going.
I had a stepdad that was a civilian that was
Now you have a wife that's a civilian on base.
so
I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure. So
Just kidding.
yeah, fuck me, right?
Yeah.
So he was a civilian fireman on base, and I maybe I shouldn't tell this story.
Yeah, well, how long has it been?
It's been a long time.
Okay.
I mean, I was
We're
like,
outside the...
I was I was probably 13, right? So
Your step uncle or something.
yeah, step obscurity.
Obscurity.
He walks me in, and it's a bar, and it's the bar on the golf course, and he gets plowed, and I'm 14. And he's like, "Can you drive?"
Oh, yeah, those stories.
And I said, "No, nope,
No.
can't drive a stick. I'm 14. You never showed me." So he had to call.
Sit in my lap, you'll be just fine.
He had to call one of his off-duty
like, come
fire
on the
buddies. He had to call one of his off-duty fire buddies to come get our golf clubs because we play golf, obviously, and then get us a ride home. And I got home and I thought that was my chance to drive,
Yep.
and I lost it.
Do you know how bad it sucks to drive on base? Because instant.
It's
federal.
terrible.
Yeah, but that was back in
good.
the day.
It was a
We're
long time
talking,
ago.
you know,
Yeah,
that was post 9/11.
I don't want to label myself as old, but it was.
It's been well documented in this podcast.
Yeah, I think
Again, your
Can we
fourth time here.
undocument that?
I wonder. Sometimes I'm like, I come on here for this abuse.
Like,
Hey,
That's the only abuse you can
look,
do. You
hold
would
on,
literally
though.
sit on our
Real
faces.
talk. Oh, you know what? This is what I was gonna lead. This is what I was gonna lead the podcast with. So I know.
So are you leaving?
Yeah,
So we're done?
so, well, I was gonna lead
Hey,
with
where
this.
can they find you at, Brian?
So I know I'm an old washed up fighter, but you guys haven't. I haven't seen you since the wedding, and it hurts my feelings.
What do you mean? Well, first of
That's
all,
what I fucking mean. What do you mean? What do I mean? I just
Here we
said
go.
what I mean.
Ready, Angel?
you're not.
First of all,
Oh, let's hear it.
there was a move-in party, right?
And I invited you.
You
No,
guys
you
are both
did
doing
not.
That's a
it.
fucking lie. I
No,
talked to
you
you.
didn't. No,
I
you did
fucking.
not.
I'll go back in my text. I talked to you. I guarantee it.
I know we did because I said the house isn't finished yet. I remember that, and I said you guys can stay and we'll put up tents so you guys don't have to drive that far back. I know for sure.
That was the wedding.
No, we
was
did it
the
with the
wedding.
wedding,
No,
but we also did it with
I
because you said you have family.
Ooh.
that-
Hey,
Me
what
and you were
about the
fighting after this.
Brian Dunkelman of podcasting? You
How
didn't tell
about
this guy
How about this?
about
I know.
the
So
party.
obviously, what needs to happen is I need to switch who I'm communicating with
Right,
to the
right.
responsible
Remember when I
party.
tried to do a group
To the
message with
responsible adult.
Oh, yeah, but
Justin just leaves.
Yes, but
I'm out.
she's the one that told me that she tries to tag you and involve you into.
Oh yeah, you've got her
And they-
blocked
you know,
or
they
something.
don't- they can't.
You're
Maybe
blocked.
blocked.
No, you're not blocked, but your privacy settings are so that I can't tag you in anything.
Yeah, look at me. Of course I have privacy settings up
But
to
no,
this level.
I'm serious. I know that we invited
You're
you
famous.
to that.
right,
Actually, no,
well.
we haven't even had our fucking housewarming party.
Oh,
yet.
see?
Oh, see?
Yeah, yeah.
No, we haven't even had it because we're waiting to finish the bar.
Suck this dick.
All
All of it?
whip the little fucker out then.
What the fuck man?
Don't say it's little, dude.
This is pickle dick. Just so we all
It scrapes the side of the tuna
that
fish
they say
can,
that,
but
we
it don't
were-
hit the bottom.
Babe, were we?
Oh shit.
Wait, what did I just miss?
I don't
was
know.
trying to talk to you.
No, go
I
ahead.
don't know.
So what I was saying, we were talking about
Angel's
that.
very serious.
move that mic that way.
But so
Watch it now. It's gonna fall out.
don't
So
make me
Hollywood.
fall so
This, we came here to talk about Rob's fight. He's
No,
talked
but
for
we're like-
4.5
to that.
minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
because we've been waiting to get our bar done. So if anybody knows a plumber, that's what we need.
All right.
We're in
well,
need of a
turns
plumber.
out, fuck Eric for being a liar.
That,
But I
Anyway,
know that we've invited you to
Fuck
something
you
else.
and
It
your
was a
couch. I'll
birthday
carry this
party.
fucking thing out to my truck. You'll
It
never
was
see
a
it
birthday
again.
party that we invited you guys
My
to at
back.
our house.
Like a mule.
And you guys didn't come to that either. And we've invited
no,
you
you
on
know,
a motorcycle
yeah,
ride.
that, I
Yeah.
will say.
That's true. Oh, we just bought a new motorcycle. What?
I see it. I know it.
I feel like you guys need to have us on a different podcast.
I had to-
About us.
I had to wear.
You can yell
Yeah, no
like
shit.
this far away instead of going.
People's ears are like, fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That mic's pretty
we
hot.
forgot you don't give a shit.
That's a hot mic.
It's-
hot
it's
means
hot.
So
like
I saw
sexy.
the new hog. I saw the new hog.
It's hot on the hot mic. That's
I
what
saw
I'm-
the new
Hot on
hog.
the
Yeah.
hot mic.
Both of us.
Speaking,
Beautiful ride,
I
by the way.
spent embarrassing
You did what?
money on it.
yeah, I bet.
You know what?
When there's an expensive purchase, we blame it on the other person.
Okay,
Sammy
but-
bought a really expensive motorcycle. She paid so much for this motorcycle. I thought that
Hopefully it
it
came with
would
a
be
helmet.
all the motorcycles I would ever own in my life combined.
Yeah, but what's your?
It's so fucking nice. Shout out to the guy I bought it from. He set it up. He was a tall guy, so it's set up for a tall rider. And he spared no expense on the accessories, and it is fantastic. to
Here's
ride.
my
Thing I got out
outtake.
of it,
Oh yeah, so
Here's my.
you want to hear the story?
We're talking about.
So we're looking at the bike. I take it around the block. I come back and I said, "Yep, we'll take it."
not yet.
And she's
While
in
you were
looking at.
gone, I was looking at shoes.
She's looking at shoes, and he goes in and just dead ass looks her in the eye and
What
says,
kind of motorcycle dealership is this?
we were
looking
at
shoes.
Harley. He doesn't
Oh, okay.
he doesn't work for Harley, but he buys a lot of
Okay,
stuff from
okay,
Harley.
that
so
makes sense now.
we met him there, and he looks at her dead in the eye and says, "I'll buy them boots for you if he buys that motorcycle." So obviously, I got put together.
God
the best-
damn.
Swindled.
She
What
has
a
some.
baller.
She
Wanna
has
write that down.
He's all.
really. She has a really nice set of Harley Davidson
My
riding
first
boots.
pair.
Yeah, you know, but if you're going to have a hobby, and you can afford to, and I say afford to,
Sure.
have what you want, why not?
Thank you.
That's fair.
I go out.
That's fair.
I go out.
Yes.
This is going to sound so conceited.
I can't wait.
I went out and bought a brand new side by side, the
Do it.
baddest one you can get, and the wife's like, well, "What are we doing this for?" It's just
Because we can.
we enjoy it. Why not have
Fair.
what we can afford? It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I feel real bad talking about this in front of Rob, and I'll tell you why. Because I know they pay the armed forces minimum wage.
Hey, so when he's retired,
deserves so
he'll
much
laugh at you.
No, and I hope so. I fucking hope
Whenever
so.
you see the car you rolled
Hey,
up in today,
hold on.
That's the wife's car.
In
Wife's car.
and off
Aye.
and well on topic. I wear red on Fridays because I
military.
remember everyone deployed. So every Friday I wear a red
I
shirt
didn't
to
even
work.
know that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, that was a
shout
thing.
out to Gonzo. He was the one that started it with me, and I do it every Friday. So I'm wearing a red shirt to appreciate our armed forces deployed.
Nice.
You know, the other side of the Beehive, with huge fucking supporter of our troops.
Yeah,
obviously.
and that was my selling point to you guys making a special trip in, because you know my man Rob is armed. He's been deployed. He's in the shit and underappreciated by his government
Yeah.
and his populace.
have you?
We got another podcast for you.
You ever
Yeah.
listened to the IGY 622 podcast?
Did not know.
A good friend of ours,
Mm-hmm.
the podcast, the guy I went to school with, has a podcast, and he is a veteran.
Okay.
And he does a podcast for veterans to come on, tell their story. And
Oh,
it's
that's cool. That's super cool.
It's an amazing podcast.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I like that.
Yeah. Anybody, we've said it a million times. The IGY622 podcast. Check it out.
Absolutely. I definitely will.
I think you
awesome.
should ask him the question.
You ready? You ready for the hard one?
Oh, the hard one. All right. Bring it on.
It's high and hard.
High and hard.
It's high and hard.
He said, oh, shit.
Okay. So,
But say his name and say what he does, what he's doing, and then ask.
Rob
Yes.
Snow.
That's
Snow.
right. Rob Snow,
MMA fighter.
MMA fighter. What's your 9 to 5? Military, but what do you specialize in?
What's your MOS?
So, technically, I'm a 1 Charlie 5, right?
Okay.
So,
So when somebody
It means
to me,
nothing.
when somebody
It means-
says Charlie, I go, where? Did you bring him?
that's funny. No, so basically, how do I want to word this that it would make sense? So, okay, so you know how there's civilian airliners, right?
Yeah.
Like planes that everybody gets on a day-to-day basis. There's people that control those airliners and tell the pilots, hey, you're going to fly point A to point B to point C to landing, right?
Traffic control
Like a
specialist.
legit-
Air traffic control,
Okay,
right? Air traffic control.
So
The most
right?
stressful job, they say.
Rob Snow,
So we do
MMA fighter.
air traffic control, but
Oh, he ain't
It's-
done.
Oh, there's more.
it's not air traffic control. We do the real shit. ATC guys, fuck off. It's
Right in
beef.
the- right
It's
in the
beef.
camera.
It's fun beef. Haha. ATC.
It's
But
fun beef,
we
but fuck
do.
off.
It's we do ATC, except we do like the mission oriented shit.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the,
Real
everything that goes down outside of the United States, that's us.
That's
Oh, okay.
that's public safety, protect your country shit. That's what he means.
So,
So
Just
We're like, okay.
we'll start
I'm
all
holding my breath. I'm holding my breath.
honestly,
Rob Snow,
yes.
MMA fighter, covert
Covert.
specialist.
Okay.
Who is your man crush?
Oh, they asked this of me. This is.
Don't even tell him.
No,
Yours
I
is.
don't have anybody.
who is your man crush? Now, the other side of the Beehive,
Okay.
we're all about getting in touch with your gay side. You could
Love
say.
it. Big fan.
Great.
he's a look up Eric Iman.
Don't look me up. Don't do it.
Who is your man crush? If you, I shouldn't have to explain it, right?
I get you. I get you.
I want to know. It better be me.
So I work with this guy.
It better be me.
So-
Is that
Sam,
Brittany?
make a
It
note.
better be me.
We're gonna fight.
I mean, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with Ryan Reynolds for sure. Hands down.
Good
That
one,
is a
right?
good
Pull
one.
him up. Pull him up.
No.
Pull him up.
We've had that one a few times.
Have you?
I mean, I don't know who
Goddamn.
Ryan Reynolds is. Baby.
Fuck you, don't. Fuck yeah, you don't.
Come on, look at that guy.
Hey,
Jesus.
Ryan Reynolds shirtless.
Yo, by the way,
No, right down there. Right down there.
Oh, no,
Third
yep.
row down.
His
There
abs.
you go.
all right.
There you go.
His abs have abs.
Come on.
oh
You know
look at
what?
black and white, black and
I don't
white.
even think I know who that is. Like,
Jesus.
I see who Marky Mark
Damn.
is.
Look at the guy. Look at him.
He's a stud.
And
There's
he
no
is
doubt.
funny as
Yeah.
So,
he
super
is.
funny.
He is
Super
funny.
funny. Such a nice
Dude,
guy. He's a
those
family
Deadpool
man.
movies-
You know.
Well, hold on. There might be a striking resemblance to our man Rob Snow, right?
Oh, dude.
Oh, I'm not near that
I don't.
handsome.
I don't
Oh
think
my
he's
God.
funny because I don't find him fucking
your shirt
funny when
off,
he's
man.
telling me
Take your
that he doesn't want to jump
Jesus.
rope.
I'm gonna sit.
Better make a fun
But-
show.
I mean, a down to earth guy, fantastic shape, right? Very similar. So yeah, you're,
You know who's
you're
nuts?
dating a version of yourself.
You know who's
A little
nuts?
narcissistic. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
He's a stud. I'm telling
You know
you.
who's nuts I have been on?
I can't
Like,
wait.
legit.
I can't wait.
Hey, he comes on. I'm like, hey, the wife. Don't you have dishes to go do?
You're so funny.
Frank Grillo.
Oh, yeah. He's a stud.
Frank Grillo.
He is a stud.
By the way, this guy has been
Research more than anybody ever on the podcast.
Where do you know him from?
He's been on so many different
He
movies.
was one of the bad
A bunch
guys
of
in
movies.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, we
Haven't
saw that
seen it. You need to,
a
you need to expand your
legit
education.
boxer, by the way.
And a
legit
trained boxer.
Look
Yeah.
at that shit,
Look at him
dude.
holding flowers, though. I
Oh,
mean, no
hey,
flowers,
hey,
babe. I didn't know.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Look at that trail, dude.
No, look at the fuck garden right there where the gutters go in.
Fuck garden? Are you?
Yo.
The soul
The
patch in the
fuck
fuck
garden?
garden right
That's
there.
it.
That's
That
my
guy
boy.
has everything
Oh,
working.
yes.
Zoomed
Thank
in.
you, Ryan.
That's all we
Zoomed
have
in.
for you tonight.
Put
Good
that
night,
boner
folks.
away,
Oh my
dude.
god.
Fuck. What was his name again?
Frank Grillo.
That shit doesn't
Frank
matter to
Grillo.
you.
I know. I'm sure that
Look,
But
wait, go back, Brian. Go back. Go back.
so it's
That's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it says age 49, that's Justin standing right next to fucking.
I'm like, hey, I used to do jiu-jitsu. Look at this.
Oh my lord, look at that.
it's like that thing. Nobody gives a fuck what you used to bench, bro.
Facts.
You look like a bloated
Yeah,
Ethiopian.
but look how crazy 49.
I gotta
no.
say, a guy that gets peeled like Rob does, or Frank Grillo, or Ryan Reynolds. You know, it would be easy to be a arrogant douche, and not,
Oh, yeah.
not an arrogant douche.
Yo, can I ask you a stupid question?
Send it.
What do you do with the glasses when you fight? Is it contacts or that's
blind.
not a good idea?
Oh, I'm
or-
blinder than hell.
But
Do you have
but you
contacts
fight with
in?
contacts?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I actually fight with contacts.
I wouldn't even consider it.
How do you know you?
Absolutely not.
I'm blind as a fucking bat. Oh yeah, legally blind in my
I
life.
think we talked about this too.
So look at all the things I'm learning.
Honestly, yeah.
Personal
I
life
have a
for Rob
question,
Snow.
Rob. What made you
Well, we'll get your own
transition
podcast.
from being bodybuilding to a fighter?
Well, I actually fought a few times back in 2013, and then I hurt my elbow pretty bad. Had to take 2 months off, did some PT, and then that kind of like led into weightlifting pretty sincerely, right? And then I just fell in love with it, right? I just fell in love with just lifting and growing and, you know, becoming that more like aesthetic thing that we were talking about earlier. And then it just took off. I was like, let's fucking see. Let's see how far I can take it.
So then when did you decide to not be a bodybuilder and be a fighter?
When my wife got pregnant.
Oh, okay.
That is
Yeah.
the worst fucking time.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, you're pregnant? I'm gonna go get my fucking nose broke.
Babe,
Hey, you know,
In the whole grand scheme of things, right? There's probably a little bit more money in MMA than there
No,
is.
fuck no.
But really, in bodybuilding?
so here,
My face costs 150 grand to fix.
Well, you're the exception to the rule there.
How dare you?
it's a weird thing because you
we're
don't.
over the exception.
You can make money in bodybuilding. The problem is that in order to
not.
be effective and efficient and having
gotta
that
get
be an
sponsored and
income,
shit, right?
you got to be extremely sponsored.
Yeah.
One, you've got to be sponsored. Two, you've got to make it to a pro level, which isn't like pro in fighting. You can't just choose to be a pro bodybuilder.
Right.
Don't
Get
look me
your
in the
pro
eye.
card.
I'm going to pee.
You have to be accredited, right?
Right.
And then part of going with that, you have to have a talent for it. And I don't mean skill, something that you can like hone and develop, right? Talent is something like you're born with. And there's these guys that were born with perfect genetics, right?
Right.
Perfect muscle insertions. They're the perfect height.
Some Yoel Romero looking motherfuckers out there.
Like some of these guys that they look like professional level bodybuilders or professional level, now really popular classic physique guys. And they eat like shit. They
Right.
work out, you know, moderately. And then they decide, hey, I'm going to take it serious now. And then from there, they just shoot up. And personally, I didn't have that. I don't have that, you know, I don't have the perfect muscle insertions, excuse me. And
Your muscles are pretty perfect.
By the way,
Sheesh.
before he comes back, Eric goes outside without his mask on. I highly doubt anybody's going to say anything.
no one's saying shit to that guy.
Building zone.
Where you come from?
Did he really?
I'll yell at him later.
Yeah.
You did do that. You did.
Oh, man.
So anyway, Saturday the 1st.
Yes.
First, right?
May 1st.
Yeah, they first.
You
Yeah.
excited? You nervous?
I'm very
Are you-
excited. I don't want to say that I'm nervous because I just don't feel like any form of like anxiety per se.
There's
you
no
know,
concern, nothing. You
I'm just ready to get in there.
Are you,
you know,
Are you the last fight on the card?
I am not. So the last fight on the card is actually another guy from our camp, Eric Munoz.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Cole Schaefer for the main event on that fight. So, and there's 14 fights on this card. It's a huge card, tons of fights, tons of different people. But because I am a title fight, I will be the 12th fight. I'm expecting to be around the 12th fight. So I'll be pretty late in the night going into it.
Let's talk about your last fight that you had at Still Fist.
Ooh, the
was a
last
good
one.
fight.
That was an interesting one. So that was in November 2019, like, Eric said earlier. I came into Team Link in July of 2019. Started training, loved it. I came to Utah in May of 2019, was trying to look around for a gym for a couple months. Found Team Link, found Eric, found Fabio. And the environment was a big one for me too, right? So from there, I had already decided I wanted to fight. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go in, right? Might as well. And then we got the fight scheduled through Steel Fist. I was fighting Justin Villalpando, a guy who's had like 6 fights at the time or something like that. And so, we went in and did everything that we could have done at that point in time in order to try and prepare me for my first fight in, 6 years. And then, we went in and it was a good fight. It was fun. I was super nervous because it was the first fight in a while, and we made it through all of 2 rounds, and then the ref ended up stopping it for, what was the stoppage again? It was like it was called a TK. I won.
Oh, okay.
I won. Let's just clarify. Yeah. I won.
Winning.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a good win.
I remember winning when I was.
We talk about humility, and he's. Oh, I still got one.
How big are they?
He's talking down on his win.
Little, you can
But
handle
as I recall, you went out and performed very well.
That was
You
so
did
respectful.
all the things
you know
that
how he
we
is.
trained and we asked of you,
Yeah.
and you stopped
Smell it
it.
before you put it in
So
your mouth.
don't downplay. Some of us, me included at times, downplay our victories a little when we should talk them up. And you did everything you need to do to win that
Yeah,
fight.
but as a
He did
coach,
awesome.
you can say that now. But as a fighter,
I would never
you
say
gotta
that
keep-
about myself.
Yeah.
But when you were a fighter, would you have said that?
I would never say
Never,
that about myself.
never, right?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fighter or a coach, but I watched that fight, and that's why I brought that fight up, because that was an amazing fight.
Yeah, Rob was a stud.
He was.
And I tried to get him a fight immediately after that.
We
And they-
tried.
and Pat Patton, shout out to Steel Fist for supporting local MMA and just being, stand up guys in the profession. But Pat told me, did you see that kid that you brought? Yeah. He looks like a 185-pound Incredible Hulk. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to fight him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Flat told me nobody wants to fight him.
Yep.
Eric's so, well, I'll fight him.
Yeah. He was down and out to fight me 3 weeks
He's
ago.
all lacing
Shit.
up the gloves. Like, well,
But yeah, that fight was an eye opener a little bit because it was a completely different fight camp than I've ever had before. Team Link has accelerated my progression in fighting dramatically, more than I could have possibly imagined coming from California and training back there years ago, right?
wow.
And so, by the end of it, I specifically remember at the end of the second round, we, went to our corners. I was sitting down on the stool. Coach Eric over here telling me, hey, you need to do A, B, and C. This is what was right. This is what was wrong. Same thing with Coach Fabio. A, B, and C. This is what was right. This is what was wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'll do this. Here's what I'm, game plan. And all of a sudden, Eric tells me to stand up, put my hands up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, stand the fuck up. I'm like, okay, stand up, put my arms up. Hey. And then I turn around, and this guy's puking in a bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Puking in a bucket, some blood and vomit and all that, gory stuff. And I was like, oh shit, is this thing over? Is that how that really ended? And the next thing I know, I'm getting my hand raised. I'm like, what do? Just fucking flex, bro. Just fucking flex your way out of it. Just flex. I don't know what to do.
So and maybe he wants to downplay it because the guy quit on his stool, right? But guess who made him fucking quit on his stool?
Right. Who put him there?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know, out of if we list all the categories in ways that you could win a fight and celebrate it, right? A war of attrition to make somebody quit. I mean, that to me would be harder to do for most than even a knockout.
Knock somebody out. Yeah.
You know.
You drove them to their.
Yeah, you made it. You made it happen. He couldn't keep pace.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll next Saturday we're gonna do it again. We're gonna get your hand up. We're gonna get your belt.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Damn right.
Hell
He
yeah.
trains hard. He's very coachable. When he first came into the gym, I remember watching him, and I'm like, hey, he knows what he's doing. I mean, he can handle himself. And then we just expanded on it from there, you know. But it's, I mean, yeah, it's coaching and things like that, but it's him doing it. And, you know, there's only one that knows, and it's he that fights the bull. So
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I know the answer, but I want to ask you. Is there one more? Is there
Who are
one
you
more?
asking?
I'm asking Eric. Is there one more? Excuse me, I'm asking Sam. Is there one more?
There it is.
This has been a touchy subject in our household for a minute. So you answer.
Hey, on the other side of the Beehive, we get to the tough
You know what?
topics.
The last time you fucking called that on some bullshit too. Like, oh,
Hey,
she's
he
gonna
married
get
you. What are you talking about? You got married.
Hey,
Leave it to just.
can you put that? Can you show him the ring? Because
The car.
it's a pretty nice car.
I'm waiting for the car comment.
Oh fuck!
If somebody called and said, "Hey, dude,
I don't know that
Wait,
I'm ready.
which time?
I don't.
right now, today,"
I don't know that I'm ready for the argument we're gonna have in the truck on the way home.
okay,
Just tell him, babe. I already know the end result. Like, I'm not done.
I've had two. Well, so I had
the
So,
juicy shit.
Steel Fist.
See how good I'm getting at this?
Yeah, you're cracking like the shit that ain't on Facebook for me.
So I
I'm buzzed like
not
a motherfucker right
public
now.
knowledge. Mom shut the podcast off. Don't let Grandma listen. So
Don't let your mom listen either.
yeah, Mom shut the podcast off. Don't let Grandma listen. So I read a post from Kevin Patton from Steel Fist
Yeah.
that they're looking for a heavyweight, and I not legitimately not thinking that I was gonna fight. I just wanted to know who the heavyweight was that they were looking for, and they gave me a name. And Kevin is a fan of mine, and has been a great supporter of my professional career. You know, because most of my fights have been with Steel Fist, but he tells me a name, and I'm not going to go that far, but he says, you know, if it's right for your family and it's the right thing for you, I would love to have one more with you. He even went so far as, at least to my understanding, and this may be true or maybe not, but he even went so far to ask the opponent, do you want to do this? Because somebody had fought already. And he said, I'll do it, but I need a little longer training camp, is how I understood it. And that may be true or not, but it
Through Messenger.
yeah, because it's through Messenger. I didn't talk to him on the phone, but, and I said, I wouldn't mind having that fight back, you know. And then I get a message.
I know.
I get a message from a guy that matchmakes for Fierce, and they give me a name, and it sets the fire on me. It sets the fire of you know, and I'm seeing my guys go, and, and Fabio
Being there every day.
Fabio just has.
Fabio gets me drunk in Montana. It's like,
Fabio just has an amazing performance, and I think, fuck, I got another one.
he does.
So I and nothing's been signed, and I would, you know, I appreciate Fierce, and I love Steel Fist. And Samantha looks at me and says, I love you, I'll support you. I'll do, you know, I'll help you, and I want you to be successful, but it's going to be hard for me to do it again because, I mean, you know,
yeah.
The trauma that I went through the last one, you know, it's one thing that my face is broken. I'm on the couch for 2 weeks and my job, and you know, because I have a, you know, I'm an executive for my company now. But it's sacrifice. So, you know, she says that it's, you know, you don't see the tears that I shed behind your back because I didn't want you to feel like you did this to me.
Right.
So, you know, I'm not saying nothing's signed and I haven't done anything. I had some health issues with COVID and it affected my cardio in a way that I can't even describe later. But
Physical aspect of that.
you know,
your dick.
Sheesh.
I mean, you know what sucks? It was esophagus, so you would think that would be my hand.
So I think
I broke Samantha's esophagus.
And then it resulted, it fucked up his.
I think at the end of this, without getting too elaborate, the itch is there, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Give me an applause right there on the board. Yeah!
And
yeah!
I'll tell you why. It's hard as a heavyweight, and you look at weight percentage and strength percentage and some things like that. A heavyweight fight can end in seconds.
Yep.
And the guy that lands the right
It's
shot,
a game of seconds, right?
yeah, seconds and millimeters. So in the grand scheme of things, it's hard for me to feel like I'm the best heavyweight in the state that never quite got there.
Well, I know Angel, we think you are the golden nugget of the local Utah scene. And I know this guy does
I
too.
saw that right when I
know
walked
this
in.
guy does too. Yeah.
Well,
For me, there's more to like whether you win or lose, right? Like you're still
But
who you are.
you're
whether
talking
you're-
about a fan.
yeah,
fan of Eric, you know what I mean?
Right, but you're still a fan
I
today.
know, I
Whether
know.
he takes another fight or not, you're still the same fan you are.
She's
today.
trying to really
I
rationalize
told
you
you,
down.
when
She's
you-
trying to back you off the ledge.
I cried when you lost the last one. We had to leave the bar. Brittany's like, all right, come on, Nancy, let's go. I'm like,
Well,
okay.
and Zach Cavender is such a stand-up kid and such a great guy. And I know I've said this on the podcast before. If he was an asshole, I'd have fought him the next day. And he
was there at the fight too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was humble, and he was kind. Had every respect for me. Told me he legit
saw the picture with you
legit
guys.
told me, you know, I think you're the best heavyweight in the state.
He says it too. I know,
Yeah, I think the last fight he told me, you know, it could have been either one of us. And unfortunately, I had a pre-existing injury I didn't know about, and that contributed to it. But I mean, still, either way, a guy that 250 pounds hits you, well, it can fucking change the direct course of your evening.
For sure.
But you know, I do take a lot of pride in our you know, our up and comers, and
Right.
I think Rob, with his dedication and his love for the sport and his
Every time Eric comes here, there's a fucked up question. Whether it's the dickhead or the
Gonna take another fight.
Are you getting married? What are you putting a ring on it? You fucks. You know,
Actually, like fixed it out last week. You fucking asshole.
Anyway, we don't have to leave, but let's get out of here so people can go to sleep.
Right?
May 1st.
May 1st.
Right?
Yeah.
At the Union
Union Events.
Event Center.
Get a hold of Rob on Facebook. Get a hold of me on Facebook for
Yep.
tickets.
Okay, you can get tickets too?
Yes.
Okay.
So get a hold of me. Get a hold of Rob. Get your tickets from a fighter, whatever fighter it might be. Support a
Yes.
Perfect.
Sport a fighter.
Okay.
fighter. We'll have a Knuckle Dusters booth there. We brought you
yes.
guys some new gear. We
Yes.
are sponsoring Rob.
Nice.
I'm excited to see the work he's put in, and you know he's a dedicated young man.
Me too.
He's a
I'll be
stud.
there.
He's a stud.
Well, before we go, do you want to tell the people where to find you, where to find Knuckle Dusters, where to find you guys, Eric?
Rob?
Yeah, so personally for me, I do a lot of all of my, you know, outsourced ticket sales all through social media. You can find me on Facebook as just Robert Snow. You can find me on Instagram, handle Big Ice 2X. Big Ice 2X.
Christ.
What?
and those are going to be the main ways to try and get out the tickets. But when it comes to Knuckle Dusters, Eric Iman and Sammy over there, they've got all their social media.
And to clarify, by getting a hold of me to get tickets, I'm going to get them from Rob. So,
Correct.
I would never circumvent a fighter ever, never. So,
Never.
Even if he wasn't at my gym, I
You're
want.
a funnel for the.
Yeah, I want to support the local guys, these young guys that dedicate a lot of time, money into diet and training and things like that. They need to have.
Ticket sales make a big difference in
Yeah,
taking a fight or not.
they absolutely do.
Good.
Team Link.
Team Link.
Link.
Marshall Way in Layton. Come see us. I'm trying to rebuild the kickboxing class that I've neglected for a year. So if you want to try a free kickboxing class in Layton, you come up and train with us. And Samantha will be there Tuesday, Thursday at 6.
Tell me the other side of the Beehive sent you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Samantha will make sure we take all the social media pictures with the right angles, and we will tag other side of the Beehive because we love you guys.
Looking sexy. Thank you.
By the way, before we go, thank you so much for sending us the video for the 100 episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
We appreciate you
That's
guys.
awesome. You guys,
We
you guys
loved
see
it.
yourselves. You guys are in it. We
Yeah.
made a video.
Like we were sitting ready, waiting for.
No,
In
I
an
got one
airport,
question.
right?
I got one question.
Yeah.
Was Eric drunk?
No. Well, no, because we just rode the bike down to.
Yeah,
go to dinner.
that's right. I
So no,
wasn't.
he wasn't.
Okay.
High on life, buddy.
High on life.
Probably
Well,
2
we were
drinks
wrong,
before we
but-
left, but
Yeah, I think the whole ride
we
I
were
had
sitting
2
in
or
the
4.
lobby waiting to go eat dinner at Tokyo Station.
It's weird. It was like keep it about a minute, but I don't see you guys that often, but I'd love the fuck out of you guys. I do.
Oh,
love
we
you
love
too.
you, man. You're
We
one of
love
our
you too.
favorites.
You guys
And-
are our
and I'll be
favorites.
honest with you. We have a couple of our podcasting friends that are like, dude, Eric, what do you know about Eric? I'm like, last time we saw him was
Well,
at
you
his
know
wedding.
what? You give us shit about us not inviting you, but when have we been invited to?
Hey man,
you know
that
what?
phone works
This
both
guy
ways.
I may be
is
selling my
moving
house.
north.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
are
dude.
fucking-
Moving
where
north
at? Where
From
at?
Syracuse.
Where?
You're talking about Syracuse local right here. That was
Yeah.
that's where I grew up.
Are you coming to Syracuse?
Around that area.
Hey, listen.
Close
If you
enough,
are,
buddy.
you better
If you're
fucking
Centerville
talk.
North, we're at your house
And you know what's crazy? The
wanting to
people that
cook
we bought our
breakfast and
house
shit.
from,
That's
they
right.
have freaking all the connections in the walls for soundproof shit.
Yeah, the our
Our
bar,
bar might be fucking that up a little bit because we're putting some strobe lights and shit.
but our bar's actually soundproof and
Yeah.
Stripper pole.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
I mean,
what do you do? What do you do in your
Yeah, but
free
he's
time,
jumping
buddy?
on it, so make sure it's not fucking.
We got it cemented into the ground. Cemented in the ground.
Make sure Diesel brother coming to install that
yeah, no
fucker.
shit. I gotta go.
Brian, Brian, where can they find you?
Twitch TV.
Brian is here, by the way.
Slash DJ Bad Boy Brian.
DJ Bad Boy Brian.
You can find Justin and me in our wedding invitations, and also on the other side of the Beehive on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and we good?
I'm gonna
Knuckle Dusters, Instagram, Knuckle Dusters,
We
Facebook.
stopped our website due to COVID.
We did stop our website at COVID. We're gonna rebuild it, but I've got a bunch of really neat stuff
But message
that
us on
we'll
Facebook
have on
and
May
the
1.
shipping
So
and
Okay,
make sure
okay.
everything's, You know, we
Yep.
take care. We
on
actually
the up and
just-
up. Yeah, we had
shit.
we had a girl that bought several things from us, her family, and she said, "Hey, this hoodie's got a burn mark in it,which I don't know how it got there,
By
but
the printer.
yeah, maybe at the printer." So
Smoking crack?
Somebody
Maybe.
smokes in that family. Anyway, go ahead.
so we on our dime we sent her a new one, told her to keep the old one.
Nice.
But not just that, but we're also looking to branch out some things, like put some of our apparel at some local gyms and
Yeah, so we
if somebody wants to, I know that it's whatever, but
Touche.
they want to host something like,
Oh, yeah.
and they make some sales, then we'll give them some free product, and so we're trying to.
Sammy's obviously the marketer in the family. I'm
I'm
like,
trying just to like, and,
buy the stuff.
you know, we want to get it out there, and we want to support everybody. And
Yeah, we do.
So, before we leave,
Yeah.
a dude says to me, I'm driving to the podcast. He calls me, a guy I work with. Hey, did I just hear Angel on the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's hear about it.
He's all, I don't know because I tuned in
Yeah.
why it was going on,
Yeah.
but I thought to myself, I know this motherfucker's voice for sure. Where's he from? And he's like, unfortunately, I had to get out before it was over.
Yeah.
But congratulations
Thanks,
to
man. Yeah,
Angel.
it's
U92, Dre Espanol.
No hablo Dre Español.
know.
I'm doing my buddy
maybe
Dre.
you like had done other podcasts like
Yeah, he's
the
going
other
on
stuff.
to big and
You
better
had-
things.
And then you
What?
had-
No.
This is just him.
That's that
After
face
this
for radio.
episode, this is just him.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
play
that
out of
face
here.
for radio.
Oh, fuck.
No, what I'm doing it with my friend. We're doing it for the podcast, no, for the radio. But he puts it on YouTube, and when we've been doing it on the station, and then every time we're done and we do the sentence that he's gonna put all week, then we stay and we pot for a minute. So I don't know if you saw that because I've been sharing it
well,
too.
Like I asked
So-
Eric on the way here, I was like, is
Yeah.
he like doing other stuff?
Uh-uh.
I said he would never divorce Justin.
U92,
Yeah,
6 p.m.
yeah.
No Dre Espanol.
No hablo Dre.
No hop, whatever.
Habla.
Check
or
it out.
hablo?
Every day?
Is it
What
every day?
what day is it? Every day?
Every day, Monday to
Every day.
Friday. Yeah,
Alright.
and they do
Bless your
repeats
wife.
on the weekends. Huh?
Bless your wife.
Yeah, you're a busy man. You guys,
Yeah.
full-time
we
jobs,
literally just
full-time
walk by each other, high
podcasters.
five, and then we get out.
Come in on
Everybody
the
does kind of high five though.
Yeah,
come
exactly.
come in on the
And I go
clinch
see my
when
boyfriend.
Eric Iman calls and says, "I got a fighter that needs some spotlight."
We make it happen for
Yeah,
everybody.
amen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me, and I love you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Check us out on the other side of the Beehive, Instagram, Facebook, and we will see you on the other side of the Beehive.
Yeah.
Adios.